What's up, YouTube? Hope you guys liked my previous video on my middleweight MMA build with the perk set. Gotten some feedback from it, most positive, which is good. But I think I may have caused a little confusion on, some of the perks and values, and I think some people may have been confused that the perks that I used for my middleweight were strictly for the grappling. So I wanted to kind of elaborate on that. So what I have done is I've actually built a Prestige 15 striker. So I'm going to go through the striker build, what I would do with my skill points, and then also the perks that I would use. And I'm going to base this off a striker that I know. He's a consistent, top 10, top 15 player in the world in online career. So shout out to Shalik. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. My southern accent gets in the way sometimes, so apologize. But he is a top-notch player, and he's fun to watch as well. So he streams live on TikTok. So you guys should look him up and subscribe to his channel as well. But let me just dive right in here to the striker build. So obviously with a Prestige 15 fighter, I've got the 2,500 points. I'm going to max those out. I didn't, for this particular build, I didn't focus anything on the moves. Quite frankly, for a, predominant pure striker, you're typically not going to use a lot of the fancy moves. You don't need them. You can stick with the basic moves and then customize from, a fast, efficient, heavy set like that. So you could use your points sparingly. But for this exercise, I did not focus anything on the moves. With this type of striker, I think you would be dominant with any type of moves, especially with the hands. Obviously, with the preset kicks, they're mainly heavy kicks, so they're slow. And with this build, you can see I'm at the 4-star attribute level for kick speed, so they're not going to be the fastest kicks in the world. So you're probably not going to use them that often. But from a punching standpoint, a striker standpoint, a pure boxer, you're going to have elite speed and more than elite punching power. So your punches not only are going to be swift, but they're going to pack a lot of power. As I mentioned in my previous video with accuracy, again, unless you're a person that just loves head movement, 3 stars is enough. I could have went 3.5 stars, but I just decided to stay at 3. Obviously, you can experiment with this. If you're not landing the amount of punches you think you should be, then obviously you can tweak it. But in my experience, 3 should be more than enough for accuracy. Blocking as well, 4 stars is enough. I would love to have 4.5 stars. As the build gets more higher prestige, I would be able to put more skill points into blocking. But for now, I think with the volume of which I'll be throwing strikes, I should be okay with the blocking, and I'll be able to explain that later. And then with footwork, I'm at 4 stars. Typically I like to be at 4.5 stars. That really helps with my movement. But I've stuck here with 4 stars because I have done something from a strategy standpoint with my perks that is going to help with that footwork. And I'll explain that when we get to the perks section. Head movement, I did increase a little bit to 3.5 stars. Again, I'm a 100% striker, so I'm going to need to be able to evade punches with head movement, not just blocking. Obviously, if I'm focusing strictly on blocking at 4 stars, I'm going to get block broke. So, I need some head movement in there as well. So 3.5 stars, not the best, but will get you through. And again, kick speed and power at 4 stars, it's enough to be able to use them. But you're mainly a boxer, so you're not going to be using the kicks as much. However, as you increase the move sets and you get those up to 3, 4, 5 stars, those kick animations will speed up. So 4 stars, once that build is complete, let's say, 4 or 5 star moves, you should be happy. It's adequate speed for it, and power would be fine. You're going to get more knockouts with your punches anyway, so you're going to be focusing on that. So I've already talked about punches. And then with switch stance, 4 stars is more than enough for what you're going to be doing here. Again, a switch stance is more just for footwork, being able to control the ring, and then for some kicks and setups like that as well. But 4 stars will be more than adequate for this striker build. And then with takedown defense, I did not max it out, but I am at 4.5 stars. We don't want to be on the ground, so let's do our best to not be there. So 4.5 stars hopefully will be enough to keep you on your feet. From a grappling standpoint, we don't really want to focus on anything offensively, because our strategy is, if we do get on the ground, we want to get up as quickly as possible. So we want to focus on our bottom game, so we can have our transitions quicker, and hopefully be able to deny some of their top transitions as well. So 4 stars should be able to get you through that. And then with submission defense, making that 4 stars as well. So, if you are caught in those submission races, your stam drain will not be, as fast as you're used to. Depending on what they're doing from the sub offense standpoint, it won't be as drastic as you're probably used to with a lower attribute rating for submission defense. So again, we're just defending the grappling. So we just focus on the bottom game and the defense. Don't really worry about anything else. We're not ever going to be going for takedowns, so don't worry with that. And if we do get a reversal and we're on top, we're going to get up. So we don't really need to worry about top game or any type of ground striking as well. You could spend some points, because they're low value points, on clinch striking and grappling, if you wanted to mix that in. But for this particular build, I just stuck to this. And then for health, we want everything at minimum 3 stars. So we got the body strength, cut resistance, legs, and recover all at 3 stars. And then chin strength at 3.5 stars. Obviously, I would like to go higher than that, but I'm not going to use the tank perk, so there's no reason. Obviously, I have to have the tank perk to get higher, so we're just going to leave that at chin strength at 3.5, and then cardio at the 4.5. So this is a pretty strong striker build for a P15 fighter. Again, you're going to be on the feet 100% of the time if you can do so, and we're going to be throwing a lot of strikes. And the reason we're going to be throwing a lot of strikes and a lot of punches is we've got 4.5-star cardio along with all of our perk sets. So for this particular fighter, they like to throw the 1-2 probably more than they do any type of hook uppercut combo. So I stuck their main perk as the stinger. So that's going to give them more power for those straight punches. So their jabs and their crosses, remember, they're at 5-star punch power. So now they have 5-star punch power with stinger. So those jabs and those crosses are going to hurt. You're not going to have to throw that many. However, you're going to be able to throw more than you probably have ever thrown before with your builds, because along with stinger, now I have hot-blooded and perpetual. So what these perks are going to allow me to do is, in round 1, I'm going to spend less stamina on all my strikes in round 1. So I can throw a high volume of strikes. Again, we don't want to spam it, because we will get caught and knocked out. We want to, play the game, play your strategy. But you're going to be able to exchange at a much, much higher rate than your opponent. Again, unless they have hot-blooded as well, and they have 4.5-star cardio, they'll be able to keep up. If they have 4-star cardio and hot-blooded, they'll be able to keep up. Maybe not, to the full extent, but close enough. But, I don't know how many people, especially in online career, we're really on any of the rank modes, that have gotten a real full understanding of these perks. So, the odds of you running into that are slim. But even if you do, you're not going to suffer. They just may not suffer as much as you're expecting them to. And then obviously you can assume they have hot-blooded as that perk. But that's round 1. but I've also got perpetual. So now rounds 2 through 5, so if it's a 3 to 5 round fight, I am still going to be able to spend less stamina on all my strikes. So with hot blooded and perpetual together, you're basically Nick Diaz at middleweight, where I believe he has 90, he may even have 100 cardio, but it might be 99 cardio, but he also has hot blood and perpetual. You can throw strikes with him almost nonstop, for a 5 round fight, and he hardly uses any stam. So now you're going to have a striker build with that type of stam advantage with a 4.5 star cardio. You're just not going to get tired. And probably the biggest advantage is your short term stam, the regeneration time. Let's say it takes 4 seconds after you throw a 4-punch combo to regenerate to get to full. It's going to be 2 seconds. So again, when they're ready to take their turn, you may be at regenerated to full stamina already, so you can intercept that turn. Or they may be just one punch into it, and you're already at full stamina to be able to slip and have some heavy counters. So it just gives you a tremendous advantage. And then with the Stinger, again, all of my 1-2s are going to be very powerful. Now, I've got 4-star footwork, so it's not the greatest, but it's good. But on top of that, I've now added Feather Step and Hunter. So with Feather Step, it's going to increase my footwork when I'm retreating. So if I want to play off the back foot for any reason, if I want to move around the ring, I'm going to now, instead of having 4-star footwork, now I've got 4.5, basically 4.5-star footwork retreating. With Hunter, now I have that same advantage, basically 4.5-star, go from 4-star to 4.5 with moving forward and sideways. So now any direction that I'm going in the ring, I've got better footwork on top of my 4-star footwork attribute. So I'm hoping this all makes sense. So I'm basically making my fighter better with these perks. I know that sounds, of course, but it's how you put these together. The thing that's awesome about online careers, you're able to choose and build these this way by using your skill points. When you're an online ranked, you're stuck with whatever that fighter has. And EA has done a good job of making that, somewhat fair, in that, McGregor is not going to have these 5 perks. They just wouldn't do that. I mean, you could never beat the guy if that fighter at let's say lightweight had these 5 perks. Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, he would be used in every ranked fight, and no one would ever, it'd just be mirror matches left and right. So this is great about the online careers, that you're able to build that. So this is a very strong striker build. So for people that love to strike, this would be a very fun build to have. So hope that helped, kind of give a little bit more clarity on the perks and how you can use them. Obviously, this is just one variation of a striker build. You could say, well, I'm not that great at takedown or defending the takedown, so I would rather, instead of having more stamina maybe in round 1, or using less stamina in round 1, I'd rather have I think it's the eel, where it allows you to increase your takedown defense. So you may want to do that. So then, with this build, I've got 4.5-star takedown. If I had that perk, now I'm at 5-star. So again, it just really depends on the strategy and your strengths and weaknesses, and how you can use those perks to give you even a greater advantage, or to decrease your weakness. Decrease how much your weaknesses are. So I think this is a really strong build for a P15 fighter. I might actually play with him a little bit, just so I can strike and see how it feels. So hope you guys enjoyed that. If so, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, let your friends know, and I'll keep posting away. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Until next time.